This is your weekly YouTube channel audit live stream. All you need to do is use the correct link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll consider your channel for review. That's right, channel reviews are free, but you can send us a super chat and watch us discuss your question live on air. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We will share with you our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a massive shout out and thanks to our moderators who do an awesome job every single live stream. And that's your onboarding done. What channels have you brought us this week? Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever you are in the world. Welcome once again back to the Tuesday live stream here at vidIQ, which of course revolves all around you, the creator. You've been submitting your channels, getting a little bit vulnerable, getting a little bit transparent, but looking for some guidance, advice, motivation, and perhaps a little bit of fun and entertainment along the way with your co-host with the worst. My name is Rob, and I will be guiding you through the next hour and a half-ish. I do apologize for the tardiness. No excuse. I was just telling everybody else who's waiting in the wings. I was taking a dog for a walk, and all of a sudden it was time to go live. And here we are right now. Every single week, I'm criticized by this person when I say this bit wrong. So let's try and get it right for once. I could not do this live stream without my stupendous co-host who goes by the name of Jen. Hey, Jen, welcome. How are you?
Oh, look at me. What a star I feel like.
Dan is also here as well.
When you said I couldn't do this without my I'm like, stupid co-host. I knew it. And then Jen was on the screen like, that's mean.
That's mean.
Yeah. Right, we're going to have a very self-indulgent Rob Wilson corner to begin with, right? This has nothing to do with gaming or YouTube or anything, but a little story. My wife has gone to get her hair done. And let's be honest, in our household, Sarah is an amazing cook and she does most of her food, right? But she's not doing anything tonight. So I have to cook for myself. And I kind of enjoy this guilty pleasure where if nobody else is feeding me, I will make what I want. And I want to know, like in the chats and from both you two, like what is your guilty cooking pleasure when you only have to cook for yourself? Mine is pancakes. I love making pancakes and that's all I'm capable of making and all I will be making after this live stream. So Jen, what about you? If you were cooking for yourself, what would be your guilty cooking pleasure?
I am the cook, so I typically make whatever I would make, but it usually, everyone's going to be like disgusting. Everyone's literally going to be like disgusting. It usually involves a hefty amount of spinach because I love spinach.
Can we have my husband Popeye Jen memes, maybe?
I literally eat a whole bowl of like sauteed spinach. Like I would be super happy with that as like a snack anytime.
And Dan, for you, your guilty cooking pleasure.
I'm also the head chef around here, so I would just get fast food if I had to fend for myself. It'd be great. Like, cool.
You're like, oh, I'm not cooking.
Yeah, you just take a night off. Cool. Yeah. Well, what would be your fast food guilty pleasure of choice?
I don't know. It's probably going to be something like McDonald's, just because, you know, I'll get the burgers, I'll pull off the buns, toss them, and that'll be fine. Fair.
All right, I want to try one more thing here because I've just seen in StreamYards, we've got this new toggle that says show comments on stage beta. Now, live stream community, we're giving you a new shiny thing. Please don't break it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, it's a box.
So it puts it down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Now we can see your chat. Maybe we'll have that up while we are like doing some interactive stuff like Q&A, or like we'll get you to audit a channel. That might be an interesting thing to try. The problem is it's so small on my screen that I can't read any of it.
I can read it.
The way my monitor is, because I'm sharing a screen and having other stuff. So yeah, spam all you want at some point, but we'll take it down for now because we don't want to have it distracting us for the first couple of channel audits. And I feel as if that's where we should go right now. So Dan and Jen, if you are ready, let me present to you our first channel of the season, the week, whatever you want to call it, Parzival. And they have 600 subscribers, 170 videos. And to introduce them, we ask you questions in this form to help us get a little better understanding of the channel. And this creator told us that their goal is to be the person someone enjoys watching. Fairly simple. What do you think is your biggest YouTube obstacle right now? My biggest obstacle is... What's going on here? Let's keep jumping to the top. My biggest obstacle is what type of videos I make. I like edits and commentary, taking breaks for a long time and not locking in and continue grinding. There's a lot there that's obstacles for the creator. And they would like us to focus on why does it keep doing that? Why is it just jumping to the top?
I think
this is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's my biggest challenge, reading this form. Focus on what I'm doing wrong. Like, really look at my channel and what to improve on what I'm doing wrong. Okay, the channel just thinks they're doing lots of things wrong. So maybe we'll start with some good stuff and figure out what we might be doing right. And to do that, I'm going to hand you over to Dan for like your first minute impression here.
Oh man, I was gonna dunk on them and say like, well, there's a lot here to dig into if they want to know what they're doing wrong. But no, they're
nice. That's the opening salvo of this channel audit.
Should have committed. Commit, Dan.
I noticed right away that they are consistently covering like superhero content. So I'm still trying to suss out if it's only movies or if it's comic books too. But the channel focus is there, and it's nice and clear when you go to the video page. It's always good to see. It makes our lives a whole lot easier. It makes your viewers' lives a whole lot easier when they start to investigate your channel to see, am I going to subscribe to this person? So let me
ask you this, Dan, and the community, because they're covering Marvel but also DC. So there is that conflict or tension. It's like Sony and Microsoft, or like different sporting franchises. Do you think a channel can do this? Or should they focus on just Marvel films or just DC? Or like they've got their outlier here of a Flash from a few months ago, but they moved on to other characters and I guess storylines from the different franchises.
Personally, I think they can get away with this. I mean, you could hyper focus on one, but I feel like these movies are made for the same type of person. And if we're talking about building an audience profile for your content, why not follow the audience profile being built around the media you're covering? But what I would say is that if it is comic books and movies, that might be a bridge too far for me personally.
Right. Yeah.
I like the movies a lot, but also I can't read. So that's a problem for me. I would probably only focus on watching your movie coverage. If I'm just seeing some images and stuff I don't recognize from the movie, so I'm assuming comic books, but I haven't taken this all in just yet. Flash thumbnail really stands out. It does. And also it's the biggest outlier on the channel. We can see that from our tool, which is awesome. And look at that. The Flash saves the Justice League. But so that's the question. Is that a comic book story, or like, was that on a CW show? I don't know that. I don't watch a lot of DC content. So I guess there is. Well, no, I'll watch the new Superman probably. Listen, I really want to figure out to what extent they're covering superheroes before I cast like judgment on the niche. But overall, it feels focused so far.
What do you think we should look at the packaging here, or maybe check out one of the videos? What do you think?
We could check out a video for a bit and come back
to
packaging.
Let's do the latest one, which is this is how Chris Evans, Captain America, will return in the Avengers. Hopefully you can hear this as I play it.
What's good, guys? So around 4 months ago, Chris Evans was rumored to be returning to the MCU in Avengers Doomsday. And there's been a whole bunch of rumors of who he might come back to the MCU as. There's rumors of him coming back to the MCU as Nomad. In my opinion, this rumor does not hold any weight because he was technically Nomad in Avengers Infinity War. He just never wore the suit or called himself Nomad. Another rumor...
I'll pause it there. I'll throw it to Jen here for like your opinion on the hook or the first impression.
That should have been the title. Will Chris Evans show up as Nomad?
Oh, it's a particular character, like posing a definitive...
Yeah, because this was like super open-ended, almost to the point where nobody cares, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like okay. But if you're like, in this space, I've worked with creators in this space, you have to have a strong opinion and you have to be on time. This content is so time sensitive and you have to provide information in a new way, a refreshing way. Like this is such a saturated space. And it's a very dedicated space too. So if you have an opinion, you think that he's going to show up as Nomad, like that's your video. Like don't hide that. That's why people will care to watch this. And whether they agree with you or don't is up to them. But I think that was a real missed opportunity. I can see why this video is doing not as well as other videos because of the packaging.
I remember him saying maybe in Hook as well, it was a couple of months ago that it was announced. So you're already admitting kind of time sensitivity defeat there. Yeah.
Yep.
It's in rumor territory anyway, so the title is way too long. It could have been even simpler. Is Chris Evans coming back for Avengers Doomsday? Or you could be, like Jen said, more definitive. Chris Evans is coming back. Like, and then you go into the hook saying, now it hasn't been officially announced. There's enough rumors and evidence here where I think he is, and here's why. You know, there's a lot of opportunities there, but that title, regardless, was really long. Full blown like sentence.
And then maybe to simplify it further, if we come back to the packaging, like this thumbnail is quite complex. It's got the title of a future movie, then 2 versions of Chris Evans. Again, you mentioned like the Nomad character or whatever it was. Should they have just had that one picture and maybe the arrow pointing with the character's name or something question mark to again just be more clear?
100% agree. And I think in this space, simplicity works best, especially what the audience is used to. I think that's a huge reason why the Flash video did as well as it did, because that's something that's really familiar for the audience to notice as they're scrolling. Like that definitely would feel like it's from a creator they already watch. It feels like it's on like a very professional level with channels that are, you know, pretty large. And then going into the other ones, they get a little chaotic, a little bit away from that space, but simple and like super clean, character focused is a
No, sorry, Jen.
I was just going to say it's a good direction to try.
The one final question I wanted to ask here, given that this is almost, I think, exclusively clips from the films and then a voiceover on top of it, would we say that this is transformational enough, or it might require a little bit more in case the channel got a lot more popular? They're showing like different images of comics maybe they're referring to. But what do we think here?
Not a lawyer.
I don't know. This is a question for the community as well.
Dan, did you say not a lawyer?
I was gonna say not a lawyer, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of recap videos for shows and stuff that do this, and they add enough clips, and they even though they're not on camera, they're speaking, and the thing that's on the screen is relevant to what they're saying.
Everybody loves Spider-Man. Everybody loves.
Yeah.
I don't know if this follows that same, thing, but it's enough to where I feel like they're trying to be transformational. It would be you would have to get pulled into court, and then they would have to decide whether or not you are really being transformational. But I think I've seen this enough to where I wouldn't personally be worried for them.
Okay.
I think they're putting in a good amount of effort. And I think as they get more confident as a creator, maybe they'll start to push the boundaries with showing up for some of the commentary, or just, however that looks to them, pushing it. But the voiceover is good.
And then the final conversation, it's not necessarily about the channel specifically. It's more of a thing that we can all talk about. The biggest obstacle they talk about is taking breaks for too long. So how do we kind of address this topic? I mean, I've literally done a YouTube short today joking about how if I take a break, the YouTube algorithm is going to flush me down the toilet. Everybody, that's satire. That wasn't serious. Some people still think that the YouTube yes man tells the truth. They don't. But yeah, I always love to go to your experience here, Jen, when you're trying to coach people who have full-time jobs. They're trying to turn this passion into something that becomes financially sustainable so they can do it all the time. But in the meantime, how do we juggle this? What do you tend to generally recommend?
It's tough. It's always going to be tough. Everybody's always going to have something that's pulling them in other directions. Very rarely do you just have unlimited time and just free will to do what you please and make your channel. In this instance, for a channel like this, I would say scheduling is everything. you know when these movies are coming out, you know when these trailers are going to come out, you know when comic books are going to be released. Like, you have information that other people aren't as lucky to have in niches. So use that to your advantage. If that means you need to start working on a video 3 months early, then know that and work on that video. And if that means not producing other videos, I would say I think it's okay to put your effort into the big ones, even if that means you're not regularly producing content, because it doesn't sound like you're regularly posting anyways. So save that time, dedicate that time to the big videos that have the ability or, you know, the hopes to really make a dent on the channel and the traffic. That would be my advice for this channel.
Folks, let's try and hack the algorithm at this point for once and give Jen's response a like, because I'm giving it a knowledge bomb, and also lots of wonderful emojis in the chat. And hopefully Dan will be able to have the same opportunity for a knowledge bomb answer with this channel.
Before we move on, I was
going
to add one little thing to the last channel.
Right, okay. Let's rewind everything. Hold those likes.
Take it all away.
Take it back.
No, I just wanted to add back to my comic book point real quick. One of my favorite things when I was younger, going to see all the new Marvel movies as they were coming out, I had a friend who was obsessed with the comic books. And so one of my favorite things was once the movie was done, he would compare all the things that they did from the comic books and all the things that were not done from the comic books. And I was just going to say, if you are covering both, that's like a good way to do it, because I think even as someone who doesn't read and will not read the comic books, it's always interesting to see what the source material said from somebody who knew it really, really well.
Dan, that response deserves... Oh,
yeah,
tough.
Tough. Okay.
Can you also introduce this channel to as well, Dan?
Please leave me a dislike for my response.
This is the first gaming channel. Do we have? Is the poo emoji one of our membership emoji? Yeah. Send Dan lots of them. Mega Tarek with 150 subscribers, 60 videos. They have some grand ambitions. They want to become a big gaming channel and one day the biggest.
Okay.
What do they think is their biggest YouTube obstacle? Consistency. And the part of the channel they would like us to focus on, viewer retention, and maybe attracting new viewers as well. So after a brief introduction to their channel, we'll maybe want to jump into one of the videos and see what they're up to. So
yeah,
initial thoughts, Dan.
I think the thumbnails need some work. I'm glad you're putting yourself in them and reacting, but oftentimes it looks like you've done a lot of like production on your face and everything to make sure it's separated from the background. But this is a gaming channel. It's good to make sure the game is still the star, and it's oftentimes in these thumbnails really difficult to see what game you're playing without reading the title and digging a little bit deeper. That's my first thing. My second thing is channel focus. When you say consistency, I'm going to say, like, I don't know if you meant the way I'm going to take it or if you meant how often you upload. I see videos from 6 months ago all the way up to 8 days ago in just an 8 video span. So I'm going to assume you mean upload schedule. I'm going to talk about your consistency from the standpoint of the things you're doing on your channel, because it's not even just gaming. We have The Sims. We have a game about a goose, I guess. We have, I don't know what the POV you're a robot trying to act human is. YouTube shadow banned me. That looks more like a YouTube growth kind of video. Then you have the true Dark Souls experience. So you went from The Sims to Dark Souls. Then Can You Survive in a Marvel game? We have Cato. So you're all over the place. You're not being consistent, not only as a channel playing like a similar type of game video after video, but you're not being consistent even in the type of video you're making. And that's the first thing. Like, I feel like I talk about this in an upcoming video, or I don't know, might still be scripting it. But like, one thing that I want to talk about soon on the channel in a like long form video is telling myself no. And it's something I still struggle with. But like, when I'm thinking about YouTube and I have like a new hobby or thing that I'm trying in real life, I'm like, I want to share this, or a new game I'm playing. I want to make videos out of this. Why is everyone laughing at me?
I'm laughing because I had a creator who would text me back and be like, I always love it when you virtually slap me back into place, because she would come at me with like 100 new hobbies and ideas that she wanted to do on her channel. And I would just be like, no, we're not doing that. And she'd be like, okay, virtual slap back into place.
Yeah,
It's so common. It's literally so common though.
it is. Because YouTube can do this thing to your brain that's kind of awful. It's like fun at first, but then it's awful. It's like everything you do could, like because the possibilities are endless. Anything you do could be content. And the problem with that is that that's where your inconsistency comes from. It's like, well, today I just want to talk about how I feel like I'm shadow banned on YouTube, so I'm going to make a video about it. Make that on like a second vlog channel for yourself. Don't clutter your main channel where you're trying to snowball a big audience that's rallying around the types of things you do. If you want to play The Sims, but typically you play games like Dark Souls, maybe just play The Sims for yourself. Maybe do that as a way to disconnect from YouTube so you can reset your brain a little bit. You need to take breaks mentally from YouTube if you want to make good videos. Every time I take a vacation around here, I always come back feeling really recharged because I gave myself permission to just stop thinking about making content for a bit. So it's super, super important that you don't take every little thing you're interested in and just shove it on your channel. And I don't know if that's what you're doing. Maybe you love hiking and all this other stuff. Maybe you are holding back a little bit. I would say hold back a little bit more, get your channel focused on the thing that you feel like, the game, the type of game. It doesn't have to be one, but the type of game you feel like, wow, I really love this. And if I could only play one type of game for the rest of my life, that's what I should make my channel about. I really don't think there's enough crossover between The Sims and Dark Souls players for you to be kind of like trying to straddle that tightrope.
Unless there's an obvious through line in the packaging, like, just looking at this as an example, I could imagine a channel trying to play various games with the worst PC specs possible.
Yeah,
that could be a through line, but that idea doesn't survive to the next playing, I think, a horror game and then maybe another horror game as well.
Yeah, I think they're focused on like challenges, and they're trying to say like, I'm not. It's not about the game I'm playing; it's about the challenge, which can be true. But even channels that do this type of content, in my opinion, typically follow a certain pattern of the type of game they challenge themselves in, because there's still an aesthetic and a vibe that they know their audience likes a lot. And I really do think if you're asking AI to plan your life in The Sims versus surviving in Marvel Rivals on a potato PC, that's two totally different avenues. Like, imagine someone watching that video who's never played The Sims. They're not going to, because they're like, I don't really know the difference between AI playing The Sims and a human, so who cares? But I do like Marvel Rivals, and I'll see how that runs on a potato PC. So really put yourself in the shoes of the viewers who you're trying to get dedicated to watching your videos.
All right, come on now, everybody. I think Dan deserves it there. And when I asked you to do it for Jen, we gained, I think, about 80 viewers. So Dan, if you do not cap us out at 500 viewers after that, please.
I can't just like have a nice thing.
For likes and emojis. Who knows what's going to happen?
Everything is strings attached around here.
Can take away my thumbs up and give them to Dan.
So,
pick a video, Dan, for us to take a look at.
Let's look at I want to look at that Marvel Well, wait, what about one that's doing a little bit better? Maybe the latest one. I thought this game could. Yeah. Let's
do it. I think so. Just before we click, I thought this game could hear me.
It's a funny title.
Now, but there needs to be a hook that really doubles down on that idea, doesn't it? Something along the lines of like he's playing on a computer and he kind of looks behind him, or somehow in the game it reads exactly what he's going to do next. So an expectation has been set. Jen thinks this is like an intriguing. You're intrigued at this point.
I am. Jen? I'm curious.
So let's see what happens.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome. Your video classrooms. Okay, he's looking for the other student who's lost. Open inventory. Okay, that's what I have in my inventory. Flashlight, codex. Oh, I need to read the codex.
I'll pause it there. Do you think the title was progressed at the beginning?
No, I've clicked off.
Yeah. Why might we have done that?
Well, there's just nothing about what it said. Like, my intrigue was solely in that. I don't know the game. I thought this was a great title. I think this is a really fun connection for people who are not invested in you or the game itself. And then if I click in, like, I need to see something freaky happening, something so bizarre that I want to continue to watch the video and now be introduced to you and the game.
Yeah, nobody better be around this corner. Turn corner, somebody's there. Yeah. That's
one simple thing.
Yeah.
And instead, I actually thought for a second that I was running the video at double speed because
I thought it was me. And I don't control anything.
It was very quick, and I couldn't really understand what they were saying at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But the video's playing at one speed, so I just got completely lost in that first 5 seconds, rather than, I don't know, being shocked or being intrigued further going forward.
Yeah, at first I thought maybe they're speaking a different language, but then we got to where they were at the van. I'm like, no, I understand this.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just talking a little bit fast. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what could be coming in there, but yeah.
Let's just try this again.
Okay.
We'll give him one more chance.
Because this is humming.
So I think what he was doing at that point, he was speaking, but like he was doing it like a ventriloquist.
Like a bit,
and it was a bit in the video. But it was it just didn't have enough context, did it, for us to really, I'm sure like 15 minutes into this video, we'll understand this part of the story, but it doesn't work as a hook.
Yeah. All
right then. Silence. I love
I didn't know if you were going to keep playing it. I was.
No, I wasn't really, because
Assalamu alaikum, welcome. Your video classrooms. Okay.
I didn't follow any of that.
I heard the word classrooms.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I don't think that was in English.
It might not have been, but I don't know.
One more time.
Assalamu alaikum, welcome. Your video classrooms. Okay.
Yeah, that was not in English.
But the next bit is, it's a little, I don't know, maybe there's something we don't understand, which can happen. But overall, I think audio quality, camera quality, all those things have a little bit of room for improvement, but nothing I would stress too much. I would be really, really focused on your hooks. Like Jen was pointing out, match your titles to your hook in the video. Maybe work on thumbnails.
He's so good at writing titles. What were you just on, Rob? That was even a good title there. I entered a house and weird stuff happened inside of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great, fun title.
I agree.
And it is the most popular video on the channel.
Yeah.
So hello in Arabic.
Titles are really difficult. So this creator should pride themselves on the fact that they're writing some like original and really intriguing titles.
All right.
But now just line it up.
I guess we have to apologize that we don't speak Arabic, so we didn't follow the hello in that language. I guess the problem is, though, what was said beforehand was in English, but it was like through a muffled voice. So it lent further into the why am I struggling to understand the opening 10 seconds of this video? And if I don't speak Arabic, then it's just another section of a video where I feel as if I'm not welcomed in. Not that I'm saying that this creator has to speak... cannot do this welcome in Arabic for their channel.
Does it need to be the hook though?
Right. Yeah. I would say that if the videos, like my expectation becomes, is the video going to bounce between the two languages? Because that means I'm only going to understand half the video. And if it's literally you just like that greeting, I think it's worth explaining. Like you enunciate it well, and then you say, which means this. And today we're playing this. You know, you could kind of make it part of your brand a little bit, but you kind of slip it in there at the very beginning in a time where people are getting to know you as a creator. And my instinct as a viewer was to click off because I'm like, oh, I guess I don't speak this language. And you know, it's nothing personal. It's just that I'm not very cultured.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks.
The brutal honesty from Dan.
At least he's brutal about himself. Let's do a self-indulgent gaming corner. It doesn't have to be about games. Whatever you do to disconnect from YouTube, take a break, avoid burnout. Let us know in the comments right now. Jen, are you still playing Mario Kart? Are you still thinking about getting a Switch 2?
I'm always playing Mario Kart, but there's no new updates. I am going to buy a Switch 2.
And have we established if you're doing like a pre-order, or are you just going to risk it and show up at midnight?
I'm going to hack the live stream and go wait in line at midnight.
Got it. Dan, what are you playing?
I'm kind of just biding my time until I get my Switch 2. So
have you pre-ordered one? Are you guaranteed one?
Oh,
yeah.
And
oh my gosh, don't give him anxiety. Why would you say that, Rob?
No, it's a silly question. Of course I
he needs one.
What games are you getting, Dan?
Well, I got the one with Mario Kart, and I'll get Donkey Kong when it comes out. And I'm just excited to get into some games with better performance. Like they announced that the game I am playing right now, which Pokemon Scarlet again, is going to get a performance enhancement. Zelda's getting performance enhancements. A whole bunch.
You have to pay for them though, right? Like
some
a
of them are
$10
free.
Yeah.
The Pokemon one's free. There's a bunch that they announced that are free, and then the Zelda ones. I think if you have like the super premium Nintendo Online thing, that it comes with that, which I do happen to have that. So I don't know. It's just gonna be interesting to see how some of these games, which perform so poorly, in my opinion, on the original Switch, are gonna actually be improved.
Ooh,
2 weeks away.
juicy.
2 weeks away.
Wait,
We would
if
have
it comes
done.
in colors, I might have to pre-order. I didn't think that far ahead.
It just comes in the same colors, unless
Yeah, I
they're talking
think
about the
so.
Nintendo Store ones, which I think you'd have to be at, like, a Nintendo store to do that.
We were thinking of doing a live stream unboxing, but Dan did a video about how to start a channel with a Switch 2, and none of you watched it, so I don't think we're going to bother with that. If we're being
Oh.
You had your
honest,
chance. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
that
We
was the
should do an
test bed.
unboxing where we all just unbox our favorite thing.
We should put boring things in boxes.
That could get interesting, especially if we bring
Yeah.
Savage on. Can you imagine? I completed the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Crowns Are Lost. Fun game. I've moved on to Outlaws. This is the Star Wars game, which I think had quite a lot of controversy around it being like just broken and not
Yeah, no one liked
fixed. Nobody
Oh,
liked
no.
it. I'm still figuring out whether I'm going to enjoy it. I'm at that point in the game where it's a stealthy game as well, and I'm never that keen on stealthy games. I just want to run in there and kill everything.
Yeah.
And whenever I do that, I get killed very quickly, but in a really annoying way, because what happens is that you kill everybody and then they just all automatically respawn because that's the type of game it is. And I don't know if I like that. And if you try and do it stealthily and you get it wrong, it's one of those games where at the moment I'm just started it, you get completely decapitated. Like it just is ruthless. It kills you immediately. And another thing, while I'm ranting about it, for a PS5 game, the load times are offensive. I've got used to games just loading immediately. Why is Outlaws taking so long?
You got to get PS5 Pro.
Oh no. Wait, what about the game Doom? I'm going to gift this to somebody. Are either of you playing it?
Well, hang on.
No,
Doom?
there's a new Doom.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were showing a box there or something.
Oh.
Jen. What?
Oh, nope, just me.
No. You're a Doom fan, are you, Jen?
No, nope, not at all. Just gonna gift it. I heard it was very popular.
How are we gonna vidIQ chief? How do we run this competition? I wasn't expecting
the
this.
new Doom Eternal. I think that's what it is.
No,
I think it
Jen's
was like.
going to give it to a friend.
Oh yeah,
not
I was
our
gonna
chat.
gift it to some. Oh yeah, I was gonna gift it.
I'm sorry. I thought we were just doing a live giveaway on
No.
on the channel. Goodness. That would have been
That's
nice.
so funny. So neither of you are playing it can stand behind whether it is a good game or not.
No, so the first two are good. What I do, Jen, is I'm like a gaming dinosaur where I wait for everything to go cheap or onto one of the streaming services, and that usually takes 18 months to 2 years. So I won't play it until it's available there. But I enjoyed the first two. It's a very what's the word? A classic remake of a type of horror shoot 'em up. Well, it's not horror actually. It's just high octane. It's a lot of carnage.
Seems like Vicky wants to talk on stage about crocheting. Am I understanding this message correctly?
Shall we bring Vicky on? Would she like that?
Vicky and I are always on the same team. Like, enough of the games. Let's talk crafting. What crafts have you guys done this week? Let's talk about that.
Let me think. Crafting wise.
Here,
Nope,
well, let me start. I
nothing.
bought all new thread and bobbins for my sewing machine.
Yeah.
Very excited. Gonna tackle some projects. We have some hemming to do. We have some alterations. I bought a new calligraphy set. I've bought new ink, some new nibs. It's very, very big things happening over here. Gentlemen.
Jen, tell us about your nibs. Or we'll leave that for another live stream. Shall we audit another channel? Dan's gone. He's having... In times like these, a web drama. Let me tell you about this channel. They are a serialized dramatic storytelling. And their biggest obstacle right now is getting my niche viewers and getting new viewers to watch full episodes. And then they're asking the question about what they want us to focus on. Is my intro good enough to keep a new viewer to watch a full episode? Now,
we're perfect for this because that's us.
I mean, guys, before we jump in, I don't want to say like the chat blew up with crafting, but it kind of
Did
did.
it? Wow. Well,
Jen's
let's
next
get the
video.
analytics afterwards.
Video.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, tell me about your nibs.
Stop saying.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I was going to say the extent of my crafting is cutting out like the middle of a coffee filter and popping it on the cat's neck.
Right. Can we get back to this channel, please? What I think this channel is, in fact, this is one of the times where it's actually worth watching the channel trailer.
In Times Like These is a fresh take on the classic soap opera, blending timeless family feuds with modern twists. Old money versus new money, power versus love, and secrets that could destroy everything.
So I take this as a animated version of Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Is that a real drama or was that just in Friends? I can never remember.
Honestly, I don't know. In my mind, it's real.
Dan, you're the fountain of knowledge for this.
Wait, so are you asking if Days of Our Lives was a real show?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if it is.
Yeah,
Or if it was
absolutely.
just
Oh, right,
on,
okay.
or if it was
'Cause
just
I know-
TV about TV.
I know Joey was a doctor on Friends in that.
Oh, no, yeah, okay. So I see the
Right.
confusion. Yeah, no, Joey was on soap operas and they referenced real soap operas in that sitcom.
So it's a channel, I think, reimagining this on the web, on YouTube, in an animated version. They're approaching 1,000 subscribers. They've already done 1,300 videos of this. So that they've
Wow.
spent a lot of time making this content on what appears to be literally a daily basis. They've committed to a new episode Monday to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think before we jump into the nuts and bolts of the content itself, if you've made 1,000 videos plus on something and the videos aren't getting more than 100 views, might that be a message to the creator that the audience isn't resonating with this enough? And instead of just continuing to grind the same content over and over again, they may want to reapproach this. I've kind of asked a question there, but it's more like a statement of what I think of a channel.
I want to know how long they've been trying this titling structure, because it looks like they're really trying to say what happens in each episode, which is what I would normally recommend. But now I'm asking myself, because we've seen a channel like this before. It might have even been this channel, but I'm pretty sure we've audited a channel just like this before. So how many of these are there, and there's got to be somebody who is the best in this space, and I put quotes around the best. Like, how are they pitching these videos to the audience? Because to me, none of these are clearly like an animated soap opera, but that is what they are. How do you communicate that in individual titles and stuff? And one way to look at this is maybe we look at the most popular to see if anything's really blown up. I remember back then I also gave the advice of like, okay, there have been some
well, within this series,
yeah,
the episode 1
so
has got the most views.
Let me tell you what it is. Go ahead.
So go ahead, Dan. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, please.
The reason the episode 1 is the most views is because you are probably slowly picking up new people here and there, and they're like, well, I gotta watch from the start. And so they will go back and watch episode 1. And I think in a series like this, episode 1 will always be on top, which it probably should be, because that means if episode 300 brought in a new level of interest, they should want to go back and see the whole thing. That's like a good thing. But yeah, sorry, that was all I wanted to interject with.
The thing I wanted to note was that the big outlier is not. I mean, it is still about soaps, but probably real soaps, and a bit of a video essay on that.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the content starts at 3,000 views, or in the first row, we're down to 400 views, and then there's another 1,290 videos that have got that amount of views or less. I mean, full credit to the creator for uploading this number of videos and still doing it after so long without gaining the momentum that we would hope and like for the creator.
Yes. 1 second. Sorry. This cat is just getting into everything. So that is what I want to know is two things. Have they tried putting all the episodes together in one big long video? Because it feels like after a season wraps up or something, that would be okay.
A little bit, yeah. They do have some compilations. Yeah.
How many views does that have? 75.
75.
Okay. So there are we're trying compilations. That's good. Who we really, I don't know how to look for this, but we really should see if there's another channel that does this, that is the gold standard of like these types of channels.
Maybe if we watch one, it might suggest another one on the right-hand side. Jen, I'll let you pick which video we should have a look at here for the intro, the hook.
She faces the wrath of her ex's mom. I thought it said ex-mom at first.
Previously on In Times Like These.
Nothing you say will change the fact that Yulissa is gone forever and that you could have prevented it. Don't worry. You weren't even born when Esdor began blackmailing Terry. On top of that, the Russos didn't fill you in on what they uncovered. Your hands are clean of any wrongdoing. Are you in? It all started when
Nothing. Just look away.
I'm into it. This is like a legit soap.
Okay.
Like the music, everything like is very spot on. But it's a little bit rough in areas, but it's there. Like they've kind of nailed the concept.
Yeah.
I don't know who the audience is though. I don't know.
Yeah. Someone mentioned the voice acting. It was a little distracting. I do agree that it could be improved a little bit, which I think is gonna be really important for kind of this type of content. It's something to work on over time. I wouldn't panic. But yeah, okay. Do we have recommended videos?
I was just going to ask a question because we all laughed at that moment of silence. And we've talked about how the production here is a little simplistic, a little basic. It's almost as if somebody might be confused into thinking that this was actually satire, like a comedic take of the genre. And I don't think it is. I think this is supposed to be a serious take. But because of some of the production of it, it kind of makes you think it's a video that it isn't in one sense. I don't know if that sounds a little odd.
I know what you're saying, but I feel like that's kind of also like soap operas though.
Right, yeah. It's a bit...
Like there is like a satire, like just unrealistic element to them. Like I think the only difference here is that they're not real people.
Dan, I'm scrolling down. Have you seen anything? I've not seen anything that might be comparable.
What if you just type in animated
drama?
Animated drama, yeah.
I would do animated soap opera.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The problem is people don't tend to title.
I know
such things.
I'm relying very heavily on YouTube's magical AI here.
Come on, algorithm.
See, we're finding this channel with shorts.
Yeah. So is this a case of a channel that's trying to invent a whole new wheel?
Yeah, it could be. And
could be, yeah.
Who is the audience?
So what are we saying here? That the creator maybe needs to... Well, I guess here's the thing that they could probably... I'm wondering if this channel's ever taken a break, actually.
They're uploading every day.
Yeah.
And they're not uploading long episodes. Like when we think about TV, and I mean, YouTube is like TV now in general. And this is almost not... This is supposed to be TV, but it's like very far from TV with like a 6-minute episode, a 10-minute episode. I would suggest this creator make a full episode, upload less, and spend more time on a complete story, like a complete episode for everyone. But I get like soap operas are on like every day and stuff. Like I think you have to start experimenting with something.
I think that might be the most important thing to say here to the creator. It's okay to maybe stop what you're doing right now. Like if you need to take a break and not publishing anything for a week, that's cool. If you need to do some research into this, or if you want to experiment with just making one longer episode for the week. Because if you think about it, if they've been making if they've been publishing a video every day, well, Monday to Friday, and it's for 1,200
My
videos.
gosh.
That's like 4, 5, 6 years of doing this and nothing
Over 3
else.
years.
Yeah.
Can you click
crazy.
on episode 338 real quick? Because I just noticed something as well, which could be maybe
So
answering a question.
this one.
Yeah. I
Okay.
just want to see what I want to see.
Previously on
Okay,
In
pause
Times
it
Like
here.
These.
Do you think my
Okay, now look at the thumbnail.
Yeah, I can't do that, unfortunately.
We're
Oh, okay.
waiting.
It is loading slow today. If you go back to the channel page though, I think if you like notice how the characters look like a completely different animation style in the thumbnails.
Oh yeah,
Then-
they're a little cleaner, aren't they, and sharper?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so when you mouse over it, yeah.
That's probably messing with people's expectations a little bit.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
That's a good spot, Dan.
wow.
Nice
Way to
spot.
go, Dan. More thumbs up for Dan today.
Well, I just broke some pretty bad news to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yes, I think my expectations, like you can see where it changed here too, and like just when you scroll down a little bit, my expectations are not being met now. This is the real animation style we're seeing, and you've kind of pivoted to these better looking thumbnails, in my opinion, but the characters don't match at all. And that's
I agree.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. And again, this might be another tiny thing, but the episode number is in like a Star Trek font.
That's weird. Yeah, that's a little interesting.
That's like triggering my Star Trek vibes there.
So I wish we had like a nice bow to put on this channel, like a nice conclusion, but I feel like we just pondered a lot.
I
It's
think the things are the priorities are. It feels like this creator should maybe think about not publishing these videos every single day. And we're telling you 1,200 videos and 3 or 4 years into this experiment. If you want to continue doing that, cool, go ahead. I fear you'll be in the same place in 6 months' time if you do that.
Yeah.
We did a quick little bit of research on trying to find an animated soap opera on YouTube. We couldn't find one. We found yourself, which suggests that maybe that, I hate saying this, but there might not be the right audience on YouTube for your content. So you've got to change the nature of the animation a little bit. And then we kind of skirted around production issues here, there, and everywhere. So it's quite a lot.
What should they be doing with their time if they're not uploading every day? Like how do we?
For me, it's research. I think they really need to find proof of concept.
I think that's fair.
You might stumble upon a channel that's doing something similar but not exactly the same, and then you could consider, is that the direction I want to pivot for this series? Could I do it in this style or in this way, so that I can start to gain like a real new audience here? I'm getting the feeling that once people do find this content, they become pretty addicted to following the story. Your views for what they are do seem a bit consistent.
That's the thing, isn't it? If they find an audience, they're
Yeah.
publishing very frequently, and it's a continuation. Like it's storytelling on YouTube. Can you imagine that, wanting to come back for the next episode over and over again?
Yeah, exactly. The only thing, and I'd have to like look at their videos to see where I'm going with this, but the only thing I can think of is there are these like entire apps that I've watched commentary channels cover where they have like a running soap opera. It's with real actors instead of animated. And the whole app is dedicated to just these soap operas you just swipe through, and they're all like 30 seconds long, and they're all hilarious in probably not the way that the creators intended. That's why the commentary channels kind of make fun of them a little bit. I wish I knew what they were called. But if you want to know what I'm talking about, I think Danny Gonzalez has talked about them in the past, so you could look up his channel and see. And that's like the closest thing I can imagine. Maybe it is something where they try shorts, little tiny episodic shorts. I don't know, but yes, I agree with you, Rob. Research, I think, would go a long way here.
To answer the question somebody asked, yes, they are doing end screen, so there is the opportunity to go on to the next video in the series. Let's move on to the next channel there. We are looking at 605 Bolts. They have nearly 7,000 subscribers from 200 videos of work. And
Woo.
Dan, their questions are, because this is a channel that you picked, the goal of the channel is to generate AdSense and affiliate revenue through search-based traffic. That might be an interesting thing to talk about. I fix whatever I break and show people how to help themselves. I And the obstacle is I struggle with I don't pick what people on myself break, meaning only sometimes I'm able to pick a specific thing to fix and make a video on. I don't know how to interpret that. The waiting for things to break. I'm not sure.
I think so.
I need my thumbnails and titles to help me rank higher. Some work well, some are duds. So I'm always trying to tweak them and improve. All right then, Dan. So tell us a bit more about this channel, if you can.
I got really hung up on that last point they make, where they're saying some are duds and some are not. And so I'm like, well, okay, let me look. And it didn't take long for me to see the ones that were more interesting to me. And the ones that were interesting to me solve very specific problems. Scroll on just like one little tiny click more. Okay. Yep. For example, 2015 through 2020 Ford F-150 rear door power window switch replacement. 1.6K views. I'm sure that is, if you have a truck within the year range, which is a pretty big range of years, this is something you've probably happened upon, and so you're searching to fix a specific problem. With channels like this is almost akin to a DIY channel. With channels like this, you always kind of cautioned that you can absolutely make a whole YouTube career out of your channel by just answering simple questions, but you're probably never going to gain necessarily like a community that's following you, because there's not like some kind of consistent story to follow. It's just, hey, here's this problem, here's how to fix it. And the only way someone's going to watch that video most likely is because they have that problem and they need to fix it. And you can just be the very best person to go to for all those sorts of issues with F-150s and things like that. But then there's like, and there's, yeah, their most popular videos, I'm sure, kind of are the same deal, right? Look at that. 100K, 200K. I don't know what half these things are because I'm not a car guy.
This is the conundrum you have, though, when you're going after search-based content. If you nail it and you become like the leader / the ambassador, the authority, the best solution to this problem, you will have an evergreen video on your hands.
Yeah.
But it requires you to make 20 or 30 duds in order to find that often in this case, doesn't it?
In the latest videos, there was something like a good example, drill new holes. So at the very top there, 9900 supercharger on 01 plus lightning. Like, okay, a lot of technical jargon there. And it just says drill new holes. Didn't get a lot of views. And to me, I'm like, why? You know, like, that's interesting. Why are we drilling holes in what looks like, I don't know, an engine block or something? Is it something you need to do? It doesn't seem like it's answering any specific questions, like for a search-based video. And I think there's like this back and forth between like installing hood struts and then, oh, here's an experiment I'm kind of doing. And it makes sense to me why they feel like some of their views are spiky. It's not necessarily, I think you need to tweak your titles and thumbnails. It's the topics. That is why certain videos are taking off and certain videos aren't. That certain topics are relevant to people more so than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The end.
The end.
No, I was just leaving it open for
the end.
I'm trying to lead us onto a question about search, because they talk about this in their form, that they want to be a search-based channel where ideally you might get discovered through search, but you want to become a browse and suggestive-based channel whereby, hey, I might be discovered because I was able to fix my broken switch for my window, but I love this person's personality, their storytelling, the fact that they are a huge fan of Ford F-150s of a particular time. I want to join them on this love and passion of a vehicle, but unfortunately my thermostat isn't broken for my F-150, so I don't need to watch that video. Is there any way we can get this creator to become more of a leader in this community of vehicle maintenance restoration? I asked that as a question, hoping anybody can help me out with a discussion point here.
I mean, if you're restoring a vehicle, then you have a story to tell. Like that can be content that is more discover to me. It's hey, like I got this truck and like a whole series on you rebuilding it could be really interesting, and it would let you flex that muscle of like, you know, all the weird and wacky things like drilling holes in engine blocks and stuff like that, but it becomes relevant to like a larger story that is for an audience that's just like, oh, I just like seeing cool things come together.
That was an interesting one that I think the vidIQ Overlord brought up there. There could be this basic overview of each of these vehicles that you have. Again, it's not necessarily fixing something, it's maintenance, but it is a strong search-based opportunity. Again, Jen, I'm sorry to pull on your coaching experience, but have you come across channels before that kind of get frustrated with this search-based boom or bust type of content? And
Yeah.
solutions?
No, for sure. Because it's frustrating for the creator because they're saying this is what they want, but then when they see the views and like the inconsistency, they're like, wait, that's not what I want. It's like it's really difficult. But we're talking about things that are successful, that are very basic, that are very simply written. So are we targeting a beginner audience, or are we targeting a like car enthusiast audience? Because someone that wants to replace their broken window, like switch, probably doesn't know what a front U-joint repair is or has interest in doing one. So we're complicating a lot of the language and we're simplifying a lot of the language. I think that inconsistency alone, where if I came here from, you know, fixing my window, I would look at the rest of this and be like, oh, I just got lucky with this one video. Like I have no business being on this channel. But if there was other things like, you know, how to simply change your oil in 5 minutes, change your oil with, you know, only 2 things you need to do it. Other things that would play into who I would be as a viewer, then it would catch my interest and be like, oh, I could actually learn some things for where I'm at. But this feels like we don't actually have a defined audience at all. We have a defined thing that we're fixing things, but for who? And that who, I think, is the missing component that potentially could generate better ideas, that could get more consistent views, whether they be from search, whether we get some of them into browse. But it just feels like a little bit all over the place in terms of who's actually interested in this content.
All right. I mean, I don't think we need to talk about the thumbnails per se, because
I think these are pretty standard, like pretty good.
Here's a problem. I'm going to point you to the problem, and we promise to fix this for you in the videos. I don't think this is one of these channels where there's such a high barrier to entry because people don't have these skills and experience to fix these vehicles, and they don't have the room, the warehouse, the tools to do it. So I think we can be fairly forgiving for the quality of the thumbnails, in that they're simplistic in that style.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll move on from the channel there, which is 605 Bolt. I will try and resolve any super chats we have right now. I think that's probably the best thing to do before we get any deeper into the live stream. And this allows us to put on the chat again in the right-hand corner and welcome a few new members. We've got Scratch and Spoon Lotto. What on earth is that channel about? I
wonder. My gosh.
Scratch lottery tickets with a spoon.
Maybe. Maybe. That's a unique sound effect.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Teluga, Fax, and GK. You are also a new member. This is your sound effect. We have a super chat here from Landscape Rescue with Stuart Moore. They are down for a roast. Were we to have a paid roasting live stream, you would be on that spit twiddling around right now as we roasted you, but we're trying not to create any financial barriers to these channel audits possible. Oh, look at this one. Eyes, I will send you $4 back. Thank you for a shout out. Want to make a profit from that shout out, if I'm honest. And one final super chat here from Brando's Modern Life. Almost got fired, yet still vlogging as work.
Let's
at work.
go.
I guess there's inspiration here from this 7-Eleven chap, Ian, who I don't think he got fired for vlogging on YouTube, did he?
No, he got fired for drinking.
But it was non-alcoholic from what I remember. There's a whole story about it. And then he got rehired.
Yeah.
And then I've not followed the story since.
Well, good luck. Be careful. I think you should get permission doing stuff like that personally.
Maybe. Yeah, that's probably the best advice. Dan, you get the sensible knowledge bomb right there.
Okay. Oh, Dan's crushing it today.
All right, then. So what we're going to do next is remind you that we have an awesome community here, but also on Discord, where Vicky, our amazing community manager, runs all sorts of challenges every single week. And recently, there was a challenge around the discussion of content buckets. And I'm right in saying, Jen, that you were hosting that one over on Discord. Is that right? And
this did. It was really funny. Yeah? It's not how it started, but it took a turn and people were into it. I said something about content buckets and Vicky was like, what'd you just say? And everyone else was like, what did you just say? I was like, okay, here we go.
That sounds like a very entertaining Discord session there. And so we were talking about content buckets, and we'll be doing more things throughout the coming weeks and months. So make sure to sign up for Discord. There's a link in the description right now. Maybe somebody can pin it. One of us can pin the Discord in the chat as well. And there was a winner from this Discord discussion, and it was Liza, who was breaking down her content into different buckets. And we'll maybe talk about these buckets in a moment. But because she had such an excellent submission on Discord, we're now going to audit that channel, which is right here. And they're called Co-Create Your Magic with Lisa. We don't have a form here to work through the questions, so we're just going to audit the channel as we see it. They've done 200 videos. They have 200 subscribers and 163 videos. And it's business advice for creative mystics. Have I said that right?
This is
I have. Go on then, Jen. I'm going to let you loose on this one first then. What are your impressions as a
Can
look
we
at the
scroll
channel
down
banner?
to see as many videos as possible first?
Yeah.
I want to see how easy it is for all of us, because at this point, 12 videos, we should be able to identify 3 buckets. Very, very simply.
I'm still struggling to understand the...
I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
channel?
go on.
the format. Yeah,
identify the 3 buckets.
I'm still struggling.
Maybe.
Why is it so difficult? Is it because the text dominates the thumbnails, and on every single video the font is different?
That isn't helping.
I'm struggling to focus for some reason on the thumbnails. So
I'm
maybe I
trying
should
to
read the titles. Yeah.
There's some motivation I'm seeing, like how I finally overcome self-doubt.
Yeah. Then
there's
some more
market,
businessy stuff, converting clients on websites.
Yeah. So I think I've identified 2.
But these aren't necessarily content buckets. These are just the different topics, right?
I would agree with that. I would say that it's clear she's covering different things, but I don't think we've really locked down what the actual bucket is in the form of repetitive content.
Mm-hmm.
We just have a lot of advice, it looks like. Which is fine. It's obviously a motivational channel. But it's not clear to see the repetition. And when you look at somebody's channels, like, you should know instantly what they're doing on their channel.
Yeah.
Like, it should be so clear. And this one is not as clear. So there could be a disconnect between the packaging and what their actual buckets are. So they're not coming across as clear.
You know what I would expect, given some of the titles and stuff? I would expect more graphs and things like that. There's a lot of like talk about like marketing and your voice and things like that. I would expect some like data and like boring statistical analytics on the screen, maybe with a creator alongside them, maybe with a little bit of text. But every single video requires me to read text in a thumbnail and read the title before I start to understand the video.
It's a
And
lot of reading. I agree
there-
with
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
it's almost like it's too literal, and
Yeah.
like I'm having to decode it for like 5 to 10 seconds. And obviously, when you're browsing YouTube, you just ain't giving anybody that time and space, really, are you?
So 5, which is like the font changes like in the middle thumbnail there. 5 website conversation blockers. The font changes like 4 times. It's really distracting. 5 website conversation blockers. Pretty isn't profitable. The hidden reason your website isn't converting clients. Great title, but show me a chart that is showing low conversion on a website. Like you're being way too like nitty gritty with your thumbnail. You can get to the point you're trying to make in your thumbnail, whatever it is, can be made in the video a lot more elegantly, and you'll have the space to do it there. Don't make the point in the thumbnail.
The irony is the thumbnail isn't converting us to click because the thumbnail is a blocker to the content almost.
Yeah.
But we're going to click on it anyway because I want to see one of the hooks.
Your website might be beautiful, but if it's not booking clients, it's broken. After 30 years of building websites, I can tell you some of the most client path. Your website isn't just art, it's a conversion tool. A stunning site means nothing if it doesn't guide visitors towards the next step.
Can we pause?
Yeah.
Okay. I loved the hook until it repeated itself 5 times. I'm not trying to be I'm being a little bit brutal because I just want to help this person get more concise. They clearly are working really hard scripting their videos. They're very well spoken, but you made the same point like literally over and over again so far in 22 seconds. Like I loved the first thing you said, and then you said it again, and it's like you couldn't settle on your favorite way to say it. So like get it, let's get to it now. Like you got me hooked, and then you got me hooked again, and you got like, so let's do it,
I'm glad you pointed out, Dan, that they wrote a very good script, because maybe this is just me, but I got distracted by her eyes reading the script. And it felt to me then that there was a bit of a disconnect, as if like it doesn't feel like you're talking to me. It feels like you're talking at me with a very pre-prepared thing that I want to say. Now, obviously, myself included, use scripts because it just helps us with the communication. But I don't know in this sense where it is that there is just like a talking head and there's no cuts whatsoever. It becomes a bit more obvious to me that I almost feel as if a creator's looking through me to see the words
Wait,
behind
I was gonna
me.
say that like there's videos you watch and like someone is just literally talking through you. That's the way I describe it.
I don't know.
Is my script behind you? Like what?
Maybe I'm being too harsh, but look, finally we've got some. We've got some stuff on screen, but it took us a minute and a half to get there.
I was going to say, is this only a motivational speech, or are there examples of websites that are too pretty and are not converting? Because I think if you're saying you've done this for 30 years, like you haven't shown a single example on screen of what you're referencing. And it's if it's just a motivational pep talk, I guess that's fine. But I think this is such a good opportunity to show me, like, I want to see the websites you're talking about. Like if you've worked with clients in the past or anything like that, get their permission, and then like, let's put them on screen and be like, this is a website that wasn't converting. We made these changes and now it is. And look, it may not be as pretty, but their conversion rate went up this much. Like I was kind of waiting for that information to be put on the screen. And like you said, it was like halfway through the video before a single graphic popped up at all.
I'll leave the final words on this channel then to Jen. What do you think, to summarize what we've
I think
discussed here?
this creator has a great personality. They come across great on camera. I think they're confused at what they're doing on their channel, and everybody else is also confused what they're doing on their channel. Like, I just don't know if you're trying to sell me business advice. I don't know if you're trying to personally help me on my journey, because we see things like become more confident and we see like these personal like skills to build.
Right.
And it just feels like we have two channels fighting each other here. And it also feels like this is an opportunity to put more time and invest more resources into better ideas. And not just better, but better also meaning bigger. Like, what are you actually trying to help someone with here? And then do what, you guys are suggesting and put more effort into that one video and have those examples from clients and have someone on the other side feel like they really, really walked away from value. Not that they just listen to you talk for 3 minutes and don't even know really exactly what you said by the end.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Dan.
Sorry, constructive, by the way. I'm sorry. I feel like we really went in on this channel.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's personally, I just feel like passionate about this channel's potential. And
I agree.
I'm excited about the points I'm making. So I just hope I'm not coming across like I'm tearing you to pieces. I really feel like you're like this close, and I just want to see you cross.
I want this creator to have a coach so bad, because like these are the things like you need to have a conversation with, like back and forth, so that you have more clarity what other people see or interpret when they look at your channel. Because this creator is someone who is, I would bet, is organized, knows what they're doing, has a content schedule, is uploading, is making their thumbnails, it's always on time, and they think they're doing everything correctly, like very correctly. And then sometimes it just takes that extra set of eyes to look in and be like, I get why you are making the decisions you're doing, but in the world of YouTube, we want to think about it a little bit differently sometimes.
It is time for Jen's favorite parts of a live stream. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, cracks Jen up every time. Every time.
It's so cute. They opened a claw machine arcade by me. It's only claw machines.
We need evidence.
It's just a scam.
It didn't happen.
It's just a big scam arcade. What are you talking about?
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't, but it's a good time, Dan. It's a good time.
I guess if you have money to burn, I suppose.
Actually, you know what? They're really nice. They're like, if you don't win after a few times, come tell us and we'll fluff the machine.
Oh,
fluff the machine.
That's so nice of them.
That's what I said. I said, oh my God.
I'm just going to pick a channel since you two are just having a discussion about arcades right now, which is cool. 243, and we're going to try and do a bit of a speed round here. So I think we're going to try and spend a maximum of 2 minutes on each channel and try and kind of identify the biggest thing that needs to be addressed. So I introduce you first to Windy with 2 Ys, 3,000 subscribers, 200 videos. It looks like they're doing shorts, so we'll focus on the shorts. And here they are. It looks to me like edits, compilations of popular content. I think the only way to find out is to maybe click on one of these. We'll do Andrew Garfield Spider-Man edit, see what we've got. All right, so that's probably some copyright music that we won't be able to use. I don't know if it's from the film or not, or it's an edited version of something that's like a cut into one film to another. So yeah, it looks like editing montages from popular films, movies.
Yeah, some of them are doing better than others. I always struggle with channels like this. This is nothing like against this particular creator. It's just not my style of content. I swipe off immediately when I see stuff like this, but I don't. It's just because it's not for me.
Right.
So I wish I had like more tactical advice. I know edits channels are very popular. They kind of recut things, and
Oh my gosh, you know what I saw recently? Someone cut the entire Eminem song using movie clips.
Oh, see, that's different.
From one word, from like a million different movies, and did the whole song.
Oh, wow.
That to me is a completely different thing than this, but I would watch that.
I'll send that to you after. It's so good.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, Dan. I swipe away otherwise too.
Stay on target, please.
Sorry.
It's a good point. I think like when the edit gives like some kind of inherent like funny or interesting take. But this to me is it's so random. It's like, here's something that happens in the show and I'm going to cut it together with like some other moments, and I just don't really know what it's trying to say.
I agree with that. I don't fully understand the purpose of channels like this, but I don't really watch movies and stuff. So I suppose if you're a movie fan, maybe you like seeing the compilation.
So I think what they're doing here is that's their set of things that they're wanting to edit, but they're actually taking it as a request. Somebody will put a request in the comments and then do it. So there's some good, I guess, community involvement and engagement there. The danger always is that you like, well, I guess their unique perspective here is how they edit the content. That gives them their unique perspective and look on things. But you're always reliant on other people's work, and it is a gray area, isn't it? How much is this transformational content? And it's difficult for us to answer. So I guess, Dan, our kind of response is like, you're doing pretty well. You got 4,000 subscribers from 200 videos, and you have several videos that, well, you have one video that has hundreds of thousands of views, and that was a Squid Game edit. So more of, just keep doubling down on that. And sorry, we can't help you any further.
But
if editing's the thing, go for it.
I understand the title of that one, Squid Game versus Real Life. I feel like that video already has more of a track that it's going to be on than some of the other edits.
Right.
That we saw. We were like, what's going on? And if they are taking requests, I would love to see them put like the comment the request came from on screen. It's like, what if Spider-Man was a music video? And then like, okay. And then now like understand where the video is going, like some kind of prompt to let me know as the viewer that like, this is what we're doing today.
I like that. I think that's good advice.
I just said we were going to try and be quick here, so let's move on to the next.
Rob's so done with us.
Gaming channel.
Particularly me.
What was that, Dan?
You're so done with us, particularly me.
No.
No, Dan's a smart one today. You've gotten so many thumbs up and so many.
I'm conscious that I'm conscious we've audited 6 channels in almost 2 hours, an hour and a half.
So. They were good audits.
Right. K Skis. Monthly anime gaming rants and challenges. 100 subscribers. Congratulations on that milestone. Nearly 100 videos. And they are sticking to their topic, their focus, which is anime games.
I love that. Second, that copyright thumbnail.
Shall we have a quick look at it? This anime game is actively avoiding copyright.
Sure.
So hope it doesn't get us in trouble.
Boom. Check this out, right? Imagine you just chilling on your bed, trying to find an anime game to play, because you know some of the anime games on the mobile store are pretty trash. You have to find this anime game called Enigma of Sepia, right?
There's some fun like in video moments. Like, why is he doing this from his bathroom? And like, what is that?
Is that a neck, like an airplane pillow?
Yeah, he's got a bag of coffee and an airplane pillow.
There's some cool humor going on here.
Yeah, are pretty trash. You have to find this.
And is it like a really grainy, rubbish camera on purpose? He almost feels as if it could be
Enigma of
because the audio is brilliant.
Right? So the game looks pretty cool, and then you think it looks pretty fun. So then you scroll down to like see some of the screenshots of the game, and you happen to notice something strange. A lot of these characters in this game looks vaguely familiar.
That's a loud sound effect.
That's a shock sound effect, yeah.
A little loud. More B-roll, I think, would have helped. Like,
I agree a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about screenshots? Like, let's start putting them on the screen.
I agree. At that point, we could have picked up the pacing slightly.
I didn't get really strong gaming vibes there as well. That could have just been an anime cartoon for me, as far as I was aware. But I don't know if it's a game or not.
That's funny. I think they should have wrote the game in the title.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it's like the same thing in my mind that we talked about earlier, where it's like, if people know what the game is, they're going to be more inclined to click, but not knowing what the game is.
I would say it depends. Having experienced a downfall a couple times trying to put a game in the title where no one knew what the heck it was, I had better luck saying an opinion about some game than putting the actual unknown game in the title. So I guess I would just look and see how popular it is.
Okay.
That's just my own experience there.
I have just noticed as well that their posting schedule is for a gaming channel quite sparse, maybe one video a month. And looking at the intention, what it's looked like to be intentional non-quality of the videos, I feel as if they do have the capacity to make more content on a regular basis, if that was possible.
Are they shorts?
There are some shorts, yes, but not many.
Oh, okay.
I think it's interesting that they are going the commentary route with this as well. I like to see that. I think a lot of people, they just play a game and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's always so much more personality in a channel that's just going to break something down that they're really passionate about. I think with the topics, the subject matter of that video tells me that it probably didn't take them too long to make. And yes, I agree that uploading a little bit more could help them just kind of start to snowball their channel like they want to see.
What would be a reasonable cadence? Maybe like 2 videos a month for the next 6 months. That's like 10 videos over that time frame.
My advice is always do what you can, but more shots at the target is more shots at the target. So if you have some ideas, and we get a lot of comments that are like, oh, I just kind of procrastinate a lot. Like, I would say try to get over that. If you literally don't have the time, you don't have the time, and you shouldn't force it.
Light bread. I publish basketball and challenge videos. I like the thumbnails, how they're, what would you call it? Cutting out the people, then putting them back in, putting a drop shadow.
That title is so funny. My tiny brother's basketball tournament predictions.
Where is this one?
Their most recent one. Oh my gosh. I just think that's hilarious. Like judging kids' sports.
I guess one argument would be is what's that got to do with the challenge aspect of things, where they've done all of these trick shots recently, and now this conversation. But maybe like just their younger brother wanted to be in a video, and that's their kindness showing through to do that for them.
Yeah. Once I Missed the Video Ends has 531 views. I understand the title and the concept right away. It doesn't take me more than a second. There's a lot of videos after that that are just kind of like them playing basketball and giving highlights of like just a backyard basketball kind of.
Let's just see if there's any like setup or stakes or challenges when we jump into this one.
All right, I didn't mention it. Me and Ben versus these two guys, Logan and Ethan. We're playing up to 11, 1s and 2s. Sounds good?
So I guess we pause it there. Like, why should I be interested in this if I'm on YouTube?
Yeah,
is somebody going to do a dare at the end of this? Is there any money? What are the stakes to make this interesting?
And I would get a 5th person to be there as a camera person too, because I think this whole video just being at this angle the entire time is going to be a little bit boring. I think if someone's running around with the camera, trying not to get in the way, but getting some good shots, it could help the video a lot.
Yeah, there is just one shot there, Dan. You're right, from that same angle.
I don't think you need any more, like the lighting, because it's like nice cloudy day is nice and even and everything. It just kind of needed somebody handheld. But I think it's clear, like when you have stakes to a video, when I miss a shot, the video ends. That worked really, really well. And if you can do, look at that! Wow,
gotta watch this one.
Yeah, what happened? Oh,
the video ends when I miss.
Great.
You like Dan? You like that?
Yes.
The premature cut.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. My favorite thing. You could have made that a short, and you should make it a short as well.
Oh my gosh! Why have they not redone this?
It should just be a channel of video ends.
Why have they not redone this video several? It's going to be different every single time.
Yeah,
you never know. Like there's the unpredictability behind it, regardless.
What if you did a short where you and your friends had to shoot a basketball from behind you, like this, and the first person to make it wins something? But
this is your first try. Ooh, close.
As we watch this
Sorry, I went on for a bit long. I thought it was going to be a shorter shot.
You wouldn't even need commentary on that. You could just have some funny music, and people keep like missing, going, and then someone wins. Eventually, like you kind of show the passage of time, and someone finally gets it, and like, yay! I've seen shorts like that work really well. But I would really focus on more challenges and stakes. If you're going to play 2v2, make up weird rules. I could watch basketball on TV whenever. Like make up some wacky, stupid rule and then the loser has to eat something they don't like.
I think in a microcosm of how YouTube works, like if we look at this video, we say to ourselves immediately, why should I care about this? But we look at this video and we immediately think, right, I get the premise of this, like in a second. And that is almost YouTube, isn't it? Like in one short demonstration of two videos packaged differently and the outcomes of it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pick another gaming channel now. 147. And I present to both of you. How do you pronounce that? Do you? I'll go with that. Do you? Why not click the sub button? It doesn't hurt. Or this will be under your bed. Like and sub if you like hot dogs.
Well,
let us know in the chat. Anybody who doesn't like hot dogs, let us know if you don't like hot dogs in the chat.
I don't like hot dogs.
Cool.
Right here.
You've lost Jen's sub.
Sorry, can't sub.
Can't sub what sub?
I see some good views in some of these videos. I just think the about section and banner, like super high focus on subscribers. Don't focus so much on subscribers. Like those will be earned over time. Like focus on making good content. Like, we see this so much where people are like, I'm finally at 50 subs. I'm finally at 55 subs. I'm finally at 56 subs. Just come on. I don't care about how many subscribers you have. Just make cool videos.
Yeah.
Let's good ideas.
Let's have a look at these then. So I don't know what that is. Really a rare style in Project Ego. Spending the most Robux on a raid unit is insane. I think we need to watch one of these. Dan, let's pick one that might not get us in trouble in the first 20 seconds.
Outlier right there in the middle. Are you worried
Is this game the end of Hitbox Rivals?
My head on the freaking. But what do I got? Easy? Man, I ain't want that trash. I can't be regular. You gotta give me sage.
This is a editing tour de force. I haven't got a clue what's going on, but the video's not for me.
I don't have no money? You serious? Why the freak do I have any money? Get out of bro. I don't want you. Give me Kaiser.
It's not the same sound effect. I think the only response to that is, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Keep doing it. Yeah.
You know your audience?
It works.
Yeah.
Yep. You definitely know your audience. So what about the videos that aren't doing as well? The truth behind 5 million players in what? Like, I'm missing. There sounds like some drama there. It sounds like, hey, this game's 5 million players, but does it? Like, I think the thumbnail could have implied a little bit better what game you were talking about. It could have caused a little more drama and controversy, perhaps.
I think the consistency of this character in their thumbnails seems to be working. I think all of the videos with
Roblox, which is good.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
I think they're doing good. I think. Can we watch another one to see if the style of the intro is the same? Because I think a younger audience is gonna find it hilarious.
I'm with you there, Jen. Like 18 videos, and they're already getting hundreds of views on videos, and they've already had like a couple of outliers with thousands of views. Jen, pick a video for us. Which one would you like?
Let's go with. I tried to evolve trash units.
Which one is that?
Middle top.
This one. Okay,
next outlier.
I promise you, game. I'll give you one more chance.
Now we talk about something called, was it rage baiting, where you misspell things and do stuff on purpose to annoy people. That's already really triggered me. Not gonna lie, but it worked.
Give you one more chance, game, please. So today I'm gonna be evoing every unit that I didn't get to in the last video. Why? Because I don't got nothing else to do. All hell kill you up.
Oh yeah.
Gohan's not coming.
No, this is good.
You know why? Because it's a banner unit. I don't even know what I mean.
And they are actually a hot dog in this one.
Oh my God. Click on it. I need 6 belts and 10 breads. That's easy.
Stop the cow.
I can't follow what's going on at all. But it's funny.
I think they're doing great.
Yeah.
I don't think they should change their editing style. I think they just need to keep going. They've made like no videos, and this is crazy to see this level of success already.
You pointed that out. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, this is very short time frame for what we're seeing. I didn't catch on at first.
The amount of editing they're doing in their videos, and they made 4 videos in the last 6 days.
That's wild.
I can't fathom that. That's incredible.
I just think sometimes topics are doing better than others, and I think it's just like take just one little step back with certain videos and make sure that they pass that sniff test of like, will people understand what this is, and if they understand it, will they care, and if not, how can I make them care?
And I think if we understand them even less, then they're going in the right direction.
Probably, yeah.
All right, 228 non-gaming channel for yees all. Archive Pods, I think this one is called. And they are a very new channel. Oh, God, these look like some scary thumbnails. 12 videos, 26 subscribers.
100 men versus gorilla. Oh my gosh.
Is this going to be some AI fun?
It has to be.
Shall we click on this one?
That's what Jen wants us to click on.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Internet, let's settle the wildest debate. Could 100 grown men take down one silverback gorilla? Meet the silverback. 400 pounds of jungle fury, bite force like a lion, and strength that can bench a fridge. Even Eddie Hall, an English strongman, would need about 10 clones of himself just to match one gorilla's power. Gorilla muscles aren't just big, they're biomechanically superior. Humans? We traded brute strength for brains and Wi-Fi. How about you? Who would you line up to fight a gorilla? All right, Internet.
Wait, can you pause it? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go to a different video now?
Okay.
I have a theory. Just any video.
All right, then we'll do the man who lived over 5,000 years ago.
This is a man who lived over 5,000 years ago and was found frozen in the Alps.
Okay. Why is the style so? The voice is the same, the captions are the same, but why is the style so different?
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried.
We went from like educational to like,
and it was animated.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. 12 videos. Maybe they're experimenting with different AI tools. I think we can all agree this is probably like a lot of automation is going into this, but they're still finding their format, the tools they want to use. I would be a little generous there, Dan.
Okay.
Oh, they just shut you down completely. Was that your question?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one more just to.
Well, so what I thought is when I saw that title, and I'm thinking, is this going to be AI? Like, why didn't they just have Sora have 100 men versus a gorilla? Like an AI do that and see what actually happens.
I don't know if they're using AI Sora footage very much.
That is true. Yeah, you're right there. You're right.
Because I heard it make what it sounded like a flub in the screen. It could like bench a fridge or something. I don't know if that was like maybe bench press. Maybe it was on purpose. But yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some interesting things going on there. I just don't know if it's like.
Can you actually spend $1 trillion in just 24 hours? Let's break it down. A trillion is 1,000 billions, or 1,000,000 millions. That's 12 zeros. You could buy every Tesla, every iPhone, and every mansion in LA, and you'd still have money left over.
Before.
Sorry, Dan, what was it?
What I'm struggling with is like the thing I'm not saying, but like I feel like I've seen this before, spoken through somebody else on a different channel. I don't know how original these concepts are, but I watch a lot of shorts, and I'm just like my memory is like really poking me right now. Like, yeah, you've seen this. Like,
there's no specifics. Like, there's no, if this was like your own content, like, why aren't you suggesting specific things for the $1 trillion? Like, the 1 man versus 100 gorilla is like the most trending thing ever. Like, where's even your opinion on it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I've gone down the YouTube rabbit hole. Here we are. 100
Are you doing that?
If a man tried to fight a gorilla, he would get torn to pieces in seconds.
Sorry. That's what I was expecting.
I'm telling you. Go deep dive later and have an argument at dinner. It'll be fantastic.
Well, remember, I'm making my own dinner, so I'll be
arguing with yourself.
The mirror. Yeah,
you win.
Talking to a mirror. Enjoy my pancakes. Jen, you enjoy your nibs. Dan, you enjoy just whatever you do when you power down after a live stream.
You don't even know me at all.
Yeah. Have we got any super chats left? Let's just check. We do have one more super chat. It comes from that's the wrong button. Long time channel auditor community member Nick Hines Sci-Fi. My core audience, very small, want me to narrate myself, but statistics on the channel is against that. And pro AI voice, what to do? This is like the vocal minority versus the data supremacy. We don't
know how many videos you've done self-narrated versus AI, and that's going to skew the data quite a bit depending on how you're looking at it. So that's like one counter question, what do you want to do is the other question.
Yeah. Wouldn't all three of us agree that we would always like to see more human input into a video? Meaning your voice, your originality, your ability to like emotionally attach to the stories that you're telling. Because I think you write these short stories, right? From what I remember, Nick. But I think that's not necessarily YouTube advice. That's our own philosophy as creators coming through more than what you should necessarily do, depending on your audience and the data.
Just gives you one more thing to connect with your audience on a personal level, on a real level. Nobody's like connecting with AI. Well, we don't know. Fine. You're going to have a better chance building that community even bigger, just showing up as yourself in one way.
We are done, everybody, for another channel audit live stream. Thank you for joining us. We hope you had an amazing time. I believe, Dan, you will be hosting next week, and Jen and I will be trying to disrupt your hosting as much as we humanly can.
Great.
Of course.
I've run out
I
of
like
things
that's like
to
my
say.
permanent role now. It's just permanent disruptor.
And at that point, we'll be 1 week away from the Switch 2. So let's all get excited about that.
That's when we pivot the channel to...
Let's pretend we're all playing on our Switch 2s now as we bow out.